Day one, awesome. Day two should be just as stunning, if not more spectacular than day one. Today's a panel though, so it's like super chill. We're gonna be actually discussing sales with a finance expert, a procurement expert, a marketing expert, and then we got, of course, a sales person on stage as well too to wrap it all in. And then I'm gonna do a keynote afterwards. Probably won't be that great.
Totality was amazing. I got a chance to meet with some great people, connect with some great people through LinkedIn. Workshops was amazing, had some great speakers. Dale really did his thing with this one.
My biggest takeaway from Totality is the fellowship of other crazy people that are out here and being successful, because the end of traditional sales is indeed near. The amount of innovation that I saw, the amount of great ideas and creativity that sparked, definitely help fill up your pipeline, your job search, or whatever you need to get a meeting and get in front of people for.
Totality has been absolutely incredible. One of the things I think that's been great about this conference compared to pretty much any other conference I've gone is the fact that it's very interactive, very workshopy. You come in, there's an agenda, but you don't exactly know what that agenda is. So therefore it's very structured and you get a lot of work done while learning a bunch of things. So it's been incredible.
Bunch of big dudes here. They're really good. Everybody's working on their marketing skills. Here's the big takeaway. At the end of the day, everybody's screwed up. Your prospects, your customers, everybody's got internal problems. Baby, don't go after them like with their career and their title. That's like 3% of who they are. Who they really are is everything else. Lead with your heart and they will come to you.
Totality has been literally life-changing, and I don't just say that, but I have made so many new connections. I'm learning that I get to like be myself and be authentic, and I don't have to fake it. And it's like, it's freeing to meet all these people, because there's such a stigma about sales, and like coming here, there's no stigma. Like, it's real people.
Totality was absolutely amazing. You bring together a group of people who are committed to helping others grow and get better, and that's what I saw here. I think Dale did an amazing job bringing together and designing the event, where you went from, hey, tactical, let's get things in and work them together and create a story for customers, to the importance of storytelling, to the importance of language and communication, and then applied that practically into email and video, and it was an awesome event.
How was Totality? It was even better than I could have imagined. There were so many great guest speakers. I got to make a lot of relationships and meet a lot of people, and it was just the best. I learned a lot, I loved a lot, and I can't wait for next year. One tactical, strategical, I guess you could say, like takeaway would be video. I didn't know a lot about video sales. I learned a lot from Kevin Dorsey, and I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna start on Monday, and we'll see how it goes. It was a blast.
My favorite session was Dewan's session, that really focused on the power of language and how much words matter and the impact that we are able to have on others with our words, positive and negative. Like it hit me in the feels. It was so good. So that was my favorite session, but I think overall it was the vibe. Like these intimate events, I think they're the future of sales events, having the opportunity to connect. They're small enough that it's a safe place, the sessions are interactive. That's it.
This was fantastic. I've been to many sales conferences, but this is the first one where a hurricane blew overhead and we didn't even notice. I knew about the sales rebellion and about being rebels and so on. I always felt outside of it. It's like I'm Dale's friend. I know what he's doing. I see it. I love it. But now I feel like I'm one of them.
So a lot of conferences, right, you're just sitting there and it's just one speaker after another, and this one was insanely interactive. I think the biggest thing I took away from this was, like, SaaS is way overhyped, right? Like, everybody in sales is always talking, especially on LinkedIn, about SaaS sales, and it was so cool to see all of these other industries where sales is still really alive, right? So, we had people in copiers, we had logistics, we had manufacturing, shout out recruitment, and there's so much going on in sales right now and serving communities and industries outside of just the tech sector, where like building that experience and building that relationship and getting those connections is more alive than ever.
When I think sales, I think of collaboration and all of those good account manager traits that help us get the product to the finish line.
A particular boutique marketing agency come up to me at the end of this event, and he said, everyone wants to go into sales. And I said, what are they saying excites them or interests them about sales? And these undergraduate students, the through line was sales helps people.
So from my perspective, sales is about problem solving at its core. And here's the challenge. Some problems are known, some are unknown. Some solutions are known, some are unknown. And that's where we get an opportunity to start to help bridge the gap.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to just asking a really good question.
I appreciate everybody being here. Surprise, I'm the keynote. Did you know? I was gonna have Gary Vee come down, but then he was like, you know, I'll discount you like $90,000. And I was like, no, thanks. Dad owned a copier company, and so I went to sell copy machines, the most boring, vanilla, generic, monotonous thing to sell in the world. This was 2008. Y'all remember that time? What happened? He'd show me the bank account, and we'd be like $700 in the bank. And we'd have to make a $22,000 payroll. That's insane, right? And I'm telling you guys, every time we were provided for at the buzzard, the mail would come in, $22,000 check. Woo! We have to commit to something new. We have to start turning more heads. And it goes beyond us, y'all. This is about giving people hope. Hope is a verb. I hear all the time people say, that's that like spiritual stuff. You know, I'm not really into that. No, hope is a verb. Hope is an action. Rebellions are built on hope. If not for hope, what would we be living for? To go to work every day at 8 o'clock and check out at 5? To go to the bar afterwards because we don't want to go home to our significant other because we've been fighting with them? To ignore the kids' baseball game because we were asked to stay an extra hour? There's no hope in that. That's a mediocre life. We don't want that. It's mediocrity to me. And we all start there. And most salespeople exist in it for eternity. They live it. They are the people at quota. What is that? Who wants to be at quota? I don't. I told my dad, I said, he said, you gotta sell $30,000 a month in copiers. Bet. Took me 2 years, but I started averaging 60. And my dad, in all of his wisdom, knew how to motivate a sales rep. He didn't raise my quota, he kept it at 30. 32, I'll take you up to 32. And then I started writing 70. And then my dad's business got bought. And I was never below 250% of quota, and they put me at a $60,000 quota. Bet. I'll triple that. Salespeople of the past don't represent the rebellion. Period. If you don't have a personal brand, make a personal brand. I don't care if you think it's corny or silly or weird or dumb, make it. In your brand, we want you to be authentic. In your personal brand, it has to be built around authenticity. It can't be a fake character. The tech daddy is Adam. He loves the WWE. Did you guys know that a legacy is not built by us? It's built by others, the perception that they have of us. Additionally, not only do we not build our legacies, legacies are something we leave behind us. The road that we're traveling is ahead. The thing that we're building is way behind. Every day it gets further behind too. And every day it builds a little bit higher, the tower, brick by brick. One decision at a time. In 2016, I lost my hero. Cancer sucks. I gave a eulogy though at my father's funeral. And let me tell you about it. I sat down in the front row for probably about, say, 3 hours waiting for this thing to start. Never once looked behind me. Was focused on the mission. Was not going to lose hope that my father had left me. Pastor on stage looked at me and said, "Come on up." I walked up those stairs. I stood at that podium. And I looked out on a sea of unfamiliar faces. Thousands of people came to see my father one last time. My dad sold copiers, but he changed people's lives, from his family to the people that he served. And that right there is the greatest thing that any of us can achieve in life. Giving somebody else hope for their own life, hope for the future of what is to come, hope for something new, hope for something different, hope in people, hope in community, hope in each other. And that's what I believe that we have today in this room. Hope. When I first decided to name this conference Totality, Jeremiah Griffin said, let's call it the final curtain on the status quo. We also set this conference up as a way for all of you to come and just do something different than the same old boring garbage that has been done for so many years. And so with that message of hope and this identity of leaving things behind, but ultimately honoring what matters the most, I have one more message for you.
This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen. With the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place. This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force. Do not return to the temple. That time has passed. And our future is uncertain. We will each be challenged. Our trust, our faith, our friendships. But we must persevere. And in time, a new hope will emerge. May the Force be with you, always.
See you guys in 2025.